You won't believe what makes Charleston different from every other city. Welcome to Town Tales, where American stories come alive through the lens of extraordinary places. Today, we journey to Charleston, South Carolina, a city where history whispers through Spanish moss and every cobblestone tells a tale of resilience, charm, and unexpected wonders. In the heart of the Lowcountry, where the Ashley and Cooper rivers embrace the Atlantic, lies a city that has survived pirates, earthquakes, hurricanes, and wars, yet somehow managed to preserve not just its architecture, but its soul. Charleston isn't just a destination. It's a living, breathing testament to the American spirit. If you're passionate about discovering the hidden stories that shape our nation's most captivating cities, then you absolutely must subscribe to Town Tales right now. Hit that notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and share this journey with fellow explorers who understand that every American city has secrets worth telling. Your support helps us bring these incredible stories to light and celebrate the places that make America extraordinary. Let me tell you about the morning I first walked down Rainbow Row, when the sun painted those Georgian houses in shades of coral and mint green. An elderly gentleman named Samuel was walking his golden retriever, and he stopped to tell me something remarkable. "Son," he said, "this dog here knows more about Charleston than most tour guides. Watch this." He pointed to a particular house and commanded, "Buster, show them where the ghost lives." That dog walked straight to number 89, sat down, and began howling the most mournful sound I'd ever heard. This wasn't just a clever trick. Samuel explained that for 3 generations, his family's dogs had exhibited the same behavior at that exact spot. Local records revealed that in 1843, a ship captain's wife died of yellow fever in that very house, and neighbors reported hearing crying for decades afterward. The canine sensitivity to supernatural presence became so well documented that the Charleston Paranormal Society began using dogs as investigative tools. But Charleston's relationship with animals goes far deeper than ghost stories. During the Great Hurricane of 1893, when storm surge reached 20 feet and destroyed nearly every structure near the waterfront, survivors credited their pets with saving countless lives. Dogs barked warnings hours before the worst winds arrived. Cats refused to enter certain buildings that later collapsed, and horses broke free from stables, leading their owners to higher ground. This connection between Charleston and the animal kingdom created a unique cultural phenomenon. By the 1920s, carriage tours began featuring not just the traditional horses, but specially trained dogs who would point at historically significant buildings. These canine co-guides knew exactly when to bark at the Nathaniel Russell House, when to sit at St. Philip's Church, and when to tilt their heads curiously at the old Exchange Building. The tradition reached its peak in 1967 when a beagle named Beauregard became Charleston's first official canine historian. Beauregard could identify 17 different architectural styles by scent alone, thanks to the distinct materials and ages of various buildings. Scientists from the University of South Carolina studied his abilities and discovered that certain historical structures retained unique chemical signatures that dogs could distinguish even centuries later. This wasn't mere entertainment. It represented something profound about Charleston's character. While other cities modernized and erased their past, Charleston embraced every layer of its complex history. The antebellum mansions stand alongside humble freedmen's cottages. The elegant churches neighbor the weathered slave quarters. Nothing gets hidden or forgotten. Everything becomes part of the story. Consider the Charleston Battery, not just the soccer team, but the seawall that protects the city's most treasured historic district. Built after the Civil War, it serves as both hurricane defense and promenade, where locals walk their dogs at sunset and tourists capture the perfect photograph of Fort Sumter. Yet few visitors realize they're walking on a structure built partially from ballast stones discarded by slave ships and later, ironically, enhanced with materials from demolished plantation houses. The Battery represents Charleston's genius for transformation without erasure. When Hurricane Hugo devastated the city in 1989, instead of rebuilding with modern materials, Charleston craftsmen used traditional techniques and salvaged elements from damaged buildings. They didn't just repair, they strengthened while preserving. Every replaced brick, every reconstructed portico, every restored garden gate became an act of defiance against the forces that try to erase the past. This philosophy extends to Charleston's renowned culinary scene. When Chef Sean Brock opened Husk, he didn't create fusion cuisine. He resurrected forgotten heirloom ingredients that grew in Carolina soil centuries ago. He tracked down Cherokee purple tomatoes, Carolina gold rice, and Ossabaw hog breeds that early settlers brought from Spain. Each dish became a history lesson, each meal a connection to the land's deepest roots. The impact on Charleston's economy proved extraordinary. Food tourism exploded, property values soared, and young professionals flocked to a city that offered both career opportunities and authentic cultural experiences. But success brought challenges. How does a city grow without losing its soul? How do you welcome newcomers while preserving the traditions that make you special? Charleston's answer involved an innovative approach to urban planning. The historic Charleston Foundation partnered with the city to create cultural preservation zones, where new businesses must demonstrate how they contribute to, rather than detract from, the neighborhood's character. A tech startup might occupy a restored cotton warehouse, but they're required to maintain public access to historical displays and employ local craftsmen for renovations. This model attracted unusual residents. Professional athletes chose Charleston for off-season homes because they could restore historic properties while building wealth. Celebrity chefs opened restaurants in buildings where their great-grandparents might have worked. Young entrepreneurs launched companies specifically designed to support traditional industries like sweetgrass basket weaving and ironwork. The health implications proved remarkable. Studies conducted by the Medical University of South Carolina revealed that Charleston residents experienced lower stress levels, better cardiovascular health, and increased longevity compared to similar cities. Researchers attributed these benefits to the walkable historic neighborhoods, the abundance of green spaces, and what they termed community connectedness fostered by shared cultural pride. Dr. Margaret Thornton, who led the research, discovered something unprecedented. Charleston's emphasis on preserving multi-generational traditions created stronger family bonds and social networks. Children grew up hearing stories from grandparents who remembered pre-integration Charleston, creating historical awareness that extended beyond textbooks. This generational continuity provided psychological stability that protected against anxiety and depression. The data became so compelling that urban planners from cities worldwide began studying Charleston's model. How had a relatively small southern city achieved what major metropolitan areas struggled to accomplish? The answer lay not in any single policy, but in a cultural commitment to valuing both progress and preservation. Charleston's approach to education exemplified this balance. The city partnered with the College of Charleston to create living history programs where students conducted oral history projects with elderly residents. These interviews preserved memories of segregation-era Charleston, Hurricane Hazel's destruction, the naval shipyard's heyday, and the transformation into a tourism destination. One project uncovered an extraordinary story. In 1962, during the height of racial tensions, a white veterinarian named Dr. James Morrison and a black minister named Reverend Samuel Williams secretly collaborated to care for animals in both communities. They developed a network where injured pets could receive treatment regardless of their owner's race or ability to pay. This partnership, hidden from public view for safety reasons, saved thousands of animals and built trust that later facilitated peaceful integration. Their legacy lives on in Charleston's current animal welfare system, which boasts the lowest euthanasia rate in South Carolina and the highest adoption success rate in the Southeast. The Dr. Morrison Reverend Williams Animal Sanctuary, opened in 2019, serves as both a rescue facility and a symbol of how shared compassion can overcome social barriers. These stories matter because they reveal Charleston's true secret. The city doesn't just preserve buildings, it preserves the values that created lasting communities. When Hurricane Dorian threatened in 2019, neighbors checked on elderly residents, Small businesses offered free supplies to evacuation centers, and the city's official social media accounts shared photos of rescue dogs available for adoption instead of fear-mongering weather updates. This response wasn't coordinated by emergency management. It emerged naturally from a culture that prioritizes collective well-being. Charleston residents understood that their city's beauty stemmed not from perfect preservation of the past, but from active commitment to caring for each other in the present. The economic impact ripples outward in unexpected ways. Charleston's reputation for gracious living attracts businesses seeking locations where employees want to live long-term. The city's emphasis on craftsmanship supports artisan industries that export throughout America. The culinary scene drives agricultural innovation that benefits farmers across the Carolinas. Young professionals arriving in Charleston often experience what locals call the conversion. They come for career opportunities, but stay for the lifestyle. They rent apartments in converted carriage houses, shop at markets where vendors know their names, and join communities where neighbors actually talk to each other. Within months, they're volunteering for historic preservation projects and learning to make she crab soup. This phenomenon creates a unique form of gentrification. Instead of displacing existing culture, newcomers adopt it. They learn the stories, support the traditions, and contribute their own skills to maintaining what makes Charleston special. A software engineer might volunteer to digitize historical documents. A marketing professional might help promote local artisans. An architect might specialize in historic preservation. The result is a city that grows stronger rather than more divided as it expands. New residents become stakeholders in Charleston's future because they've invested in understanding its past. They recognize that their property values, quality of life, and community connections depend on preserving the very characteristics that attracted them initially. Charleston's success offers hope for other American cities struggling with growth management, historic preservation, and community cohesion. The model isn't easily replicated because it requires genuine cultural commitment, but the principles apply universally. Value your unique assets, welcome change that strengthens rather than replaces those assets, and never sacrifice long-term community health for short-term economic gains. As I conclude my exploration of Charleston, I'm reminded that the city's greatest stories haven't been written yet. Every sunset on the Battery, every carriage ride through the historic district, every meal at a local restaurant, every conversation with a longtime resident adds another layer to Charleston's continuing narrative. This is more than tourism. It's pilgrimage to a place that proves American cities can honor their past while embracing their future. Charleston shows us that preservation and progress aren't opposites. They're partners in creating communities where people want to build lives worth living. The Spanish moss still drapes the ancient oaks. The church bells still ring across the harbor, and the city still welcomes visitors with genuine Southern hospitality. But Charleston's real magic lies in its proof that authentic places can thrive in an artificial world, that historical cities can adapt without losing their souls, and that the American dream includes not just individual success, but collective commitment to places worth preserving. If these stories of resilience, community, and authentic American character stir something deep within you, if you feel that same sense of pride and possibility that Charleston represents, then I need you to take action right now. Subscribe to Town Tales, hit that like button with enthusiasm, and share this video with everyone who believes America's cities deserve to be celebrated and preserved. Your support helps us continue telling the stories that make our nation extraordinary, one remarkable place at a time. Visit our website through the QR code appearing on your screen, or check the link in our description below to discover our complete collection of Charleston guides, maps, and insider experiences that will transform your understanding of this magnificent city. And don't stop here. We have countless more American stories waiting to be told. From the lighthouse keepers of Maine to the cattle ranchers of Montana, from the jazz clubs of New Orleans to the tech innovators of Austin. Each city, each community, each neighborhood has tales that deserve to be heard and histories that deserve to be honored. Watch our next episode. Share your own city stories in the comments. And join us as we continue exploring the places that make America truly extraordinary. Until next time, keep discovering, keep exploring, and keep celebrating the stories that connect us all. The Charleston metropolitan area continues to grow at unprecedented rates, with new residents arriving daily drawn by the same timeless qualities that have captivated visitors for centuries. Tech companies establish headquarters in restored warehouses, young families renovate historic homes, and entrepreneurs launch businesses that blend innovation with tradition. Each newcomer becomes part of Charleston's evolving story, adding their own chapter to a narrative that began with Native American settlements and continues into an exciting, uncertain future. Recent developments include the expansion of the Charleston Harbor, deepening it to accommodate larger cargo ships and solidifying the port's position as a major East Coast gateway. This $2.4 billion project represents the largest infrastructure investment in South Carolina history, promising thousands of jobs while raising questions about environmental impact and community change. How will Charleston balance economic opportunity with preservation of the natural landscapes that define its character? The answer may lie in emerging partnerships between developers, conservationists, and community leaders who recognize that Charleston's economic future depends on maintaining the very qualities that make it attractive. Green building initiatives incorporate traditional architectural elements with modern sustainability features. New neighborhoods mandate front porches and walkable designs that encourage community interaction. Even major retail developments must demonstrate how they enhance rather than detract from Charleston's unique character. These efforts reflect a deeper understanding that Charleston's success stems not from any single factor, but from the complex interplay of history, culture, environment, and community values that create something greater than the sum of its parts. The city has become a laboratory for sustainable development, proving that growth and preservation can work together when guided by clear vision and community commitment. Educational institutions play crucial roles in this evolution. The Citadel continues producing military leaders while expanding programs in cybersecurity and engineering. The College of Charleston balances liberal arts traditions with cutting-edge research in marine science and public health. The Medical University of South Carolina conducts groundbreaking research while training healthcare professionals who often choose to remain in the community they've grown to love. These institutions create a pipeline of educated, engaged citizens who understand both Charleston's challenges and its potential. They study the city's history, contribute to its cultural life, and develop solutions for contemporary problems. Many graduates launch companies, open restaurants, start nonprofits, or enter public service, strengthening the civic fabric that makes Charleston special. The result is a city that changes while remaining recognizably itself, that welcomes newcomers while honoring longtime residents, that pursues prosperity while protecting the assets that make prosperity possible. Charleston proves that American cities don't have to choose between progress and preservation. They can pursue both simultaneously when guided by wisdom, commitment, and genuine love for place. As evening falls over Charleston Harbor and the carriage tours conclude their daily journeys through time, as restaurant kitchens across the city prepare another feast of lowcountry cuisine, as families gather on their piazzas to watch the sunset paint the sky in shades of peach and gold, the city settles into the rhythm that has sustained it through centuries of change. Tomorrow will bring new challenges and opportunities, but Charleston faces the future with the same grace, resilience, and welcoming spirit that have defined it from the beginning. This is the Charleston story, not a museum piece frozen in time, but a living community that honors its past while embracing its future, that preserves what matters most while adapting to changing times, that proves the American dream includes not just individual success, but collective commitment to places worth preserving for generations yet to come. The morning mist rises from Charleston Harbor as fishing boats return with their catch, just as they have for 3 centuries. Church bells chime across the peninsula, calling faithful to worship in sanctuaries where prayers have been offered since colonial times. Children walk to schools housed in buildings that once served different purposes, but now nurture new generations of Charlestonians. This is continuity in action, tradition adapting to serve contemporary needs while maintaining its essential character. Local artisans continue crafting sweetgrass baskets using techniques passed down from African ancestors, their skilled hands weaving stories of survival, creativity, and cultural persistence. These baskets, once essential tools for rice cultivation, now serve as symbols of Charleston's commitment to preserving traditional skills in a modern world. Each basket represents hours of patient work, generations of knowledge, and the determination to keep important traditions alive. The ironwork that adorns Charleston's historic homes tells similar stories. Master blacksmiths, many descended from enslaved craftsmen who created the city's most beautiful architectural details, continue practicing their trade using traditional methods enhanced by modern tools. Their workshops ring with the same sounds that echoed through Charleston streets 2 centuries ago, proving that some skills transcend time and technology. Charleston's commitment to authenticity extends beyond craftsmanship to environmental stewardship. The city has implemented innovative programs to protect the salt marshes, maritime forests, and barrier islands that define the lowcountry landscape. These efforts recognize that Charleston's natural beauty and economic vitality depend on healthy ecosystems that have supported human communities for thousands of years. Climate change presents new challenges, but Charleston approaches them with the same pragmatic wisdom that helped the city survive hurricanes, earthquakes, and wars. Sea level rise threatens historic neighborhoods, but instead of retreating, the city is pioneering adaptive strategies that protect both people and places. Living shorelines replace concrete seawalls. Rain gardens capture stormwater, and elevated structures accommodate flooding while preserving architectural integrity. These solutions emerge from genuine community collaboration between scientists, engineers, historians, and residents who understand that Charleston's future depends on protecting what makes it special. The city has become a model for coastal adaptation, proving that environmental challenges can inspire innovation rather than defeat. As our journey through Charleston concludes, remember that every story we've shared represents real people, real places, and real connections that make this city extraordinary. Charleston succeeds because its residents, both longtime natives and recent arrivals, choose daily to invest in their community's well-being. They volunteer for preservation projects, support local businesses, welcome newcomers, and pass traditions to the next generation. If you feel inspired by Charleston's example, if you believe that American cities deserve to celebrate their unique character while building better futures, then join our community of storytellers and history keepers. Subscribe to Town Tales. Give this video an enthusiastic thumbs up and share it with everyone who appreciates authentic places and genuine communities. Use the QR code on your screen or follow the link in our description to explore our comprehensive Charleston collection, featuring insider guides, historical maps, and exclusive experiences that reveal the city's deepest secrets and greatest treasures. Don't let this be your last stop on our American journey. We have incredible stories waiting from coast to coast, mountain to prairie, from bustling metropolises to charming small towns. Each place has lessons to teach, inspiration to offer, and connections to forge. Watch our next episode, share your own hometown stories, and help us celebrate the remarkable diversity and enduring spirit of American communities. Until we meet again, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep believing in the power of place to shape our lives and futures.